Get questions. Okay. Okay. So thanks so much for coming on once again. I'm very, very excited and honored to have you. You've inspired me a lot. Like, I've been watching you since I was like 15. Like, really, I've been watching you for a very long time. I've been watching you and your son, always doing what you do, always inspiring people. It's such an honor to have you. It's still unbelievable for me now. So thanks so much for coming on. So the first question I'd like to ask you is, because we get to hear a lot about Caleb's life, right? We get to hear a lot about how Caleb grew up and how you developed, how how you made him who he is today. But I'd love to know what was growing up like for you.
Say that one more time. Ask me that one more time. Was it ask me about Caleb?
Yeah. Okay. So we always hear about how you developed Caleb for the person that he is today. But I'd love to know how was growing up like for you.
Oh, for me? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. It's an honor to be on with you. I've been watching you, and you inspire me. And anybody that's watching this, I can tell who's going to be a winner or who's not. And you're a winner, man. You have what it takes. You have greatness within you, okay? It's evident that you have a spirit of greatness, and I love your positive attitude. I love how focused you are. I love that you're out here hustling and giving value. I've been watching you, so you're doing a great job. So that's first and foremost, man. Look, man, I grew up in a what I would say an average home. It wasn't the most amazing, but it wasn't the most horrible. I had, a stepmom who kind of took me in when I was 4 years old and became like my mom. And my dad was just a hard worker, and him and my mom divorced when I was 14 years old, and then I just kind of took care of my little brother and sister. So it wasn't the easiest life, but it wasn't the hardest life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. And it's also very good to know because I've never really heard a lot about your story and how you grew up personally. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much for sharing.
Absolutely.
I'd like to know now, was there any occurrence in life or was there any event, any decision that you made early on in life that contributed to us today?
Say it one more time. My bad. Say it one more time.
Was there any event in your life, any occurrence, or anything that you did that contributed to who you are today?
Oh, absolutely. I think first and foremost, I'll give you three.
Okay.
There were a lot of milestones in my journey, like all of us, because, success is not a one-time thing. There's an old saying that says, now is the place of arrival, meaning a lot of us are chasing the breakthrough, the success, when in reality, it's a now lifestyle where it evolves and you grow, right? So for me, there were a couple of milestones for me. Probably the biggest impact on my success was my kind of conversion or awakening to a relationship with God. For me, was a big part because it wasn't just religion. It was an energy. It was an experience. It was a relationship. And from there, I went off to college, but I went to a Bible college. And at that Bible college, it was a smaller college. It was only about 200 students. But what was awesome about it was I got to spend a lot of time with the masters, and I'm really big into studying and getting around masters as much as possible, So back then I had a professor, one of our teachers, his name was Gary Morgan. He was a very powerful, just a very powerful person, very personable. And I ended up going to work for him and lived with him and his wife for like 3 months. And living with somebody who's a master and seeing how their life was a big impact for me. So that was kind of a big milestone in my life that kind of transitioned me into personal growth. He got me into watching John Maxwell at that age, reading good books, going to seminars. So it really turned me on to a lifestyle of personal growth during that time.
Wow. Wow, that's very inspiring. That's awesome. Okay. Now, I know that for you to live the kind of life that you live now, there has to be some habits that contributed to your success. Can you share some of them with us?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry, buddy.
Okay, for you to be living the kind of life that you're living now, I believe there has to be some habits that contributed to who you are today. So can you share them with us?
Yeah, it's kind of like we see people on social media, and we have different kind of classes of success. We see somebody who's really successful, right? And we make these assumptions that we're here and they're way out here, and that's not true. The truth is this: anybody out there that has a dream and that understands how to make that. Now, some people, their life is easier. Some people have, perhaps a dad. Maybe they have an easier opportunity to the path. But the truth is this: if you have a dream and you want something bad enough and you believe in it and you develop daily habits. See, success isn't about one big action. It's little actions every day that start to like a snowball. You can imagine a snowball starting really small, right? I don't know if you have snow there, but here in some of the places in America, they have snow. And to build a snowball, it starts with just a little ball that they just keep rolling until it just becomes this big ball. So I would say for me was learning the power of daily habits. It was doing the little things that I knew that if I did these little things consistently, it would pay off. So it would be let's start with number one, writing down your goals. That would be the first thing would be step one you could do. Anybody can write down a goal. Anybody can visualize. Anybody can dream. So what are your habits going to be? So writing down your goal, reading, listening to stuff like this, personal growth, feeding the mind. So that's a habit, right? So with Caleb, I called him the daily 5. I called it what are the top 5 daily habits for every area of your life? So it would be physical. Maybe it could be getting good sleep. It could be waking up at the same time. It could be, making sure you drink water. It could be, exercise. Then there's the top 5 daily habits for your mind. Meditation, reading, visualizing, looking at your vision board, affirmations are really big. So what I taught Caleb was to say your affirmation I happily and easily we'll make $1 million, or I happily and easily will speak on stage with so-and-so. It's learning to take your goals and create a feeling of, I happily and easily do this. Because what good is it if you hit your goals and you're not happy? And you want to try to go easy. You want to try to take the easy, not easy as in shortcuts, easy as in easy on your energy and your mind. The journey of success does not have to be hard. It's hard because we have to unlearn and unbelieve things. It's hard for us because, we're breaking limiting beliefs and we're changing habits and lifestyles. Where if we were wired this way from the beginning, it would be easy. So it's training yourself not to allow stress or pressure on the journey of success to make you stressed or tense about it. This is supposed to be fun. The challenge is supposed to be fun. So it's the habits, it's the routines, it's the rituals, it's knowing how to think positive, speak positive words. You don't feel your way into action, you act your way into feeling. A lot of times you won't feel like doing your habits, but you do your habits anyways. So I would say to anybody watching, take your top 5 to 10 daily habits and do them daily. And as a result, success will unfold. It'll just come to you.
Oh, thank you so much for that amazing answer. Thank you. So talking about habits again, because I know consistency is a very big thing in order for you to achieve success in life, right? Consistency is very big. We have also talked about this too. So I'd like to know what is the best way to develop consistency in life?
Yeah, that's good. Consistency is one of those things where here's how you do it. You don't do consistency through motivation. You do consistency through process and system, meaning this. Little things become big things. How you do anything is how you do everything. So to develop consistency, you just take 5 things that you're going to do the same way at the same time every day. It could be making your bed right when you wake up. That's building consistency. It could be putting your shoes in the same place at the same time. It's using little things that you already do to train your brain and your energy about habit and consistency. So it's like, okay, if you're gonna go to bed. You know that when you go to bed you're gonna wake up. So instead of just waking up and rushing to our normal whatever, build in little habits. Like, so right when you make it, you could say, every time I make my bed, I'm going to write down 5 goals. Every time that I eat breakfast, I'm going to say my affirmations. So then you don't got to try to remember, what am I going to say? You attach it to something you're already doing. You're already going to eat lunch, right? So during lunch, you could say, okay, I'm going to eat and then I'm going to read for 20 minutes. I'm going to eat and then I'm going to meditate. And it's practicing little things, attaching it to stuff you're already doing consistently. And then it'll be a lot easier for something to become consistent.
Okay, thank you so much. And I can remember Caleb talked about this in one of the videos about creating habit triggers, right? Habit triggers was one of the things he talked about in his video. Creating kind of something that you do before you do something else. Creating habit triggers was one of the things Caleb talked about. And thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much. Yeah.
So creating videos, is that what you're asking?
No, I said creating habit triggers was what Caleb talked about in one of his videos.
Oh, triggers?
Yeah, habit triggers. Was that what we were talking about?
Yeah, that's a good question. First of all, I want to say hi to everybody watching live. I appreciate you guys being on here. It's good to meet all y'all. So basically, it's living a life of accountability, okay? And here's what a life of accountability really looks like. Most people don't understand the power of personal accountability, okay? So how do I say your name? Ayo?
Ayo,
my man. It's this, okay? Hold up 2 hands right now. You see this? Hold them up. You have 2 hands for a reason, okay? So, it's not a coincidence. You can put them down now. Good job. It's not a coincidence you have 2 hands. So, a lot of life can be simplified to A or B, 1 or 2. We have way too much going on in our minds, right? So, let me teach you something. The way to really do your life, and if you'll do this one thing here, you'll win. And that's rewards, consequences. Rewards, consequences. If you make yourself celebrate and get rewarded when you win, when you accomplish, when you do your goals, when you accomplish the to-do list, you're creating triggers attaching positive feelings and positive results to accomplishing things that matter. And then this is accountability. It's Caleb didn't make his sales quota, he had to sleep on the floor. No pillow, no blanket, no sheets, just straight up right on the hard floor. Because now it's training him not to let himself off the hook if he doesn't hit his goals. It's got to matter. It's gotta hurt. And a lot of us don't like a life of constant rewards and consequences because it's conflicting. We need to be tougher on ourselves than we are on other people. So, accountability through rewards and consequences is the best trigger system you can have. To make it hurt when you break one of your values, life's going to catch up to us anyways. Karma, God, all that stuff. When we break our values, money stops, success stops, everything stops. And we usually may not feel it right away. But the best thing to do is personal accountability, that if you know you broke one of your values, make it hurt. Make yourself go take a cold shower. Make yourself make 10 hard phone calls. I don't know, it could be anything. Drink water, skip dinner. Consequences, rewards. The more that you can establish rewards and consequences in every area of your life, you won't have to worry about motivation, triggers, habits. It just becomes something, it's a way of life. Rewards and consequences is a way of life. Like, we should be celebrating all the time, and we should be in discipline all the time. And if we get in, you'll hit a rhythm. The tougher that you are on yourself, you'll hit a rhythm to where it'll be easier for you to perform. It'll be easier for you to get stuff done because you've trained yourself, that, hey, I'm gonna base my life on rewards and consequences. And then you actually do it. You reward yourself. Like, I used to have to slow Caleb down and say, hey, I know that you have goals. I know that you're, I know that you're climbing success, but you got to learn to celebrate along the way, too. You got to learn to reward yourself. See, a lot of entrepreneurs are all grind, all hustle, and it creates this tension that's actually not good for your immune system. Like, God expects us to celebrate. God expects us to reward ourselves and to love ourselves. And to you want to have a life that's tough as hell and amazing as heaven. There's only two ways to live. You want to live a life of extreme discipline that leads to extreme freedom. You want to live a life where you're so tough on yourself, so life is so easy for you. You get it? So it's like the people that lose in life are what I call dabblers. These are people that they're either or. They're kind of in, they're kind of out. This goes into our relationships. This goes into our finances. Like, all in is the only way to be. It's no middle ground. There's no money in the middle. You've got to get extreme on both sides. You got to be extreme about family time, and you got to be extreme about your sales calls. You have to be extreme about personal growth, and you have to be extreme about sleeping 6, 7, 8 hours a night. Like, every part of your life, like, things that matter must matter. Otherwise, they don't matter. And if they don't matter, they're not going to matter. You get it? Hey, what's up, Anthony? Good to see you. Good to see you. Is that my girl, Miss Johnson? How you guys doing? Who else is on here? I got to say hi to everybody. But anyways, what's your next question, bud? You got some good questions, man.
Great answer. Great answer. I learned so much from that. Thank you so much. So you were talking about sales, right? You talked about sales in your last answer. So I'd like to know, what's the best tip to master sales?
To master sales? Oh, it's so easy. It's so easy to master sales. The moment that you sit down and have a private, personal conversation with yourself about this, okay, there is a golden rule. And most of us don't live it, and if we would, life would become so much easier. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So, part of being great at sales is going into sales with an understanding. I feel as skeptical as they do. I don't want to buy something I don't want to buy as much as they don't. I don't like to be fluffed. I don't like salesiness. I don't like fast talkers. I don't like people that shove it down my throat. So, like, I made a list of everything I hate about sales people. I made a list of how I want, when I'm in the middle, like, man, I want to do this. Hold on, let me think through this. Like, how do I want someone to be in that type of moment? And the reason why I believe I'm so amazing at sales is because I'm amazing at human. Like, we've made sales out to be this monster that doesn't exist. It's kind of like if you ever watch The Wizard of Oz and you look behind the curtain and you're like, oh my God, when you realize sales is easy. Well, see, when I say, if I stood in front of a room of 10,000 salespeople and I said, everybody stand up, you can only stand, there's no pressure, there's no motivation here, there's no wins or losses. This is integrity only. Who actually believes that sales is the easiest thing you'll ever do in your life? I'll bet maybe less than 200 people out of 10,000 would stand. When actually all 10,000 should stand, because sales is the easiest thing you'll ever do in your life, because true sales is a human conversation with another human about a problem that you know your product and service can solve fast. Well, you would never want to sell something you don't believe in. That's like obviously the foundation. You have to sell something you actually believe is the answer. You have to sell what you know will get results. So, like, I would never sell anything I wouldn't want someone to sell my son Caleb. That helps me. I would never sell anything that I would want that like, I ask myself, would I ethically buy this? So, like, I stay very moral in my sales in that if I won't ethically buy this, if I was down to my last, this was my last amount of money, or my grandma's last amount of money, could I look at my grandma and say, Grandma, do it. It's worth it. You'll make your money back. It's going to heal the pain. It's going to work. Like, this is, so, like, there's the confidence you have when you know what you're selling is something that is the answer. So, like, when you know that, then you don't have to be salesy. You just have to be human. Human by just simply asking questions and really caring and really listening and really feeling what that person is feeling. So when they give an objection, you're not defensive. When I get objections, my energy is not defensive. It's empathetic. It's compassionate. I'm trying to think to myself, okay, because, this potential client, Betty here, is pretty adamant and pretty skeptical. Well, I've been skeptical. So then, like, relating to that energy and not letting it discourage you or defeat you and realizing, okay, that's normal. That's normal that you're skeptical. And, like, so when people are critical and skeptical with me, I just assume that is complete normalcy. So that doesn't hurt my feelings or knock me out of my power, my energy. I take that objection, listen to it, and I'm saying to myself, I don't want to argue. I don't want to defend. I don't want to debate. I want to make them feel safe because this is their money. This is their, going into it, it's the heart. All great sales starts within the heart of the salesman. What type of heart do you have? Do you have a heart to want to truly help people? Do you have a heart that wants to heal this person's pain? So, then there's the whole alignment of, God and money, energy, and all that stuff that, if we say blue, but we really believe it's white, and we're saying blue because blue gets the sale, well, you might get the sale, but you've just gotten off alignment and out of integrity. So even though you might have gotten that sale because of manipulation and persuasion, down the road it's going to hurt you. So always, if you believe it's blue, just believe it's blue, even if you know by saying it's blue, you're going to lose the sale. I think great salespeople are just as willing to lose the sale as they are to get the sale. Because great salespeople don't believe there is losing a sale because there's not ever losing a sale. Okay, now does that mean that we need to practice, we need to skill, we need to become great at product knowledge and answering questions, and we need to guide people. But remember this, people buy what they want. So real great salespeople just shows people that this is what you've been wanting. Because the moment someone wants something, there's no persuasion needed. There's no sales tactics needed when somebody really wants something. When they want something, they'll put it on credit. When they want something, they'll save up. When they want something, they'll make it happen. So great salespeople are human. And I don't want to overuse this word, but they truly do care about what's best for that person. And the moment that you can decline a sale, even when you need a sale, because you know that it's not what's best for that person, you win. You win in the end. You win in the long run.
Wow, great answer. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. In a recent video that you did with Caleb, you talked about sales, right? You talked about what you taught him early on in his life. And in that video, you shared the top 3 best sales books. Can you share them today on this video?
Yes. Okay. Then first of all, I will give you some really good sales books. I kind of study old school salespeople because I like their attitude and their purity better. A lot of the newer sales stuff are taught by a lot of flashy people that are just trying to get the money and using a lot of the NLP, and I use that. There's nothing wrong with NLP, but I like to study this book called How I Went From Failure to Success Through Selling. And I had my son Caleb read that book like a Bible because it was written, by a guy, they would call him an old timer, but it was so good. And another guy who's an old guy, he's not really social media famous. He doesn't have, I think he's got one video on YouTube, but he wrote a book called How to Sell Anything to Anybody. What I loved about those two people was because when I went into the world of sales myself and then training Caleb how to sell, my number one objective was I'm going to keep my sales human. I'm going to teach my son how to sell human. How to be complete integrity in your sales. How to really, truly listen. And really listen to what they're saying without even thinking about what you need to say next. Like when they're sharing a fear, that's a real fear. Like when they're sharing a problem and they're saying, I just need to make more money, I need to quit my job. Like, yes, great salespeople learn the art of deepening pain, and sometimes you got to open the wound and you got to deepen the pain, and but at the same time, great salespeople feel the pain. Wow. So these books, right, are really good books because they're written from people that, I don't want to say that everybody nowadays that's a trainer is not pure or is not real. I just don't sense a lot of it from them. I sense more tactic than psychology. I sense more like just fast using tactics to get the sale rather than really truly training people how to succeed in the long run with people in sales. It's straight up by being real, being ethical, and really truly caring about that person. And knowing, I'm going to get, like great salespeople know the law of numbers is exactly what it is. It's the law of numbers. Even the Bible says, whatsoever a man sows, that shall he reap. So when you know you can't lose in sales, and it's tough because I've been there and it's not easy when you're out there selling, when you need the sale, but if you can just take a step back and realize, hey, it is impossible for me not to close deals. Here's my sales process. these numbers are the numbers, they will work. So then you go into it like more of a game, more of like a patient, hey, as long as I do my calls, as long as I do my sales actions, sales are inevitable. They will happen. So when you know that sales are going to happen no matter what, the more you can stay aligned, the more you can stay pure and true and not get into the temptation to become salesy and pushy, because people hate that. I hate it. You hate it. So, never sell to people in a way you wouldn't want someone to sell to you. It's that simple.
Wow. I love that. And I love the fact that you are saying that sales is all about sharing. I love that. Actually. So, can I ask the next question? So the next question is, what do you taught Caleb Maddix earlier on in his life that created who he is today?
I taught him what?
What do you think you taught Caleb early on in his life that created who he is today?
Oh, that makes him who he is today. Three things. It's what he says. Learn, earn, return. There's three things. It's mindset, it's money, and it's mission. And I've instilled in him nothing but a fierce, focused, radical mindset. His mindset is very extreme. Most don't understand it, and that's okay, because your brain is worth more than billions. Your mind is such a machine. Your mind is a tool. Most people don't realize the value of their mind, the asset of their mind. Your mind is an asset. So I made sure that Caleb was extreme about who he studied. So people would assume that I had him reading a lot of books, when in reality I had him read maybe 10 to 20 books 30 to 40 times. It would be, you're not allowed to watch that person. Don't study that person. But he's awesome, he's good. I know, but I don't want that in your mind right now. You don't need it. You only need this in your mind. So it's just like how we should be careful what we put into our body is how we should be about our mind. There's certain knowledge and wisdom that'll actually slow you down. There's certain knowledge and wisdom that'll actually frustrate you, and it's not time for you to learn some of the the mindset would be one, the mindset piece, and then the money energy, the money mindset, the money beliefs, the money habits, the money principles, the money actions, money, and just getting him awake with money and the principles of money and the laws of money. And then number 3 would be mission. To this day, last Sunday night, we were out to the homeless giving away water and fruit and pizza party. And, so he grew up in a world, like I said, it was tough as hell. It was amazing as heaven. It was easy but tough. It was fun but insane hard. So a mission lifestyle is about we're not here to just collect money and just sit in some mansion and go out on a boat every day. We're here, everything we're building is because of mission. So mission and money, get 2 hands, right? Your 2 hands. Mission, money. And then your mind, right? It flows down. So you have to have a hand that's always going for money, and you have to have a hand that's always giving the money you get out. And that's how it works. You give and it'll be given. And you give time, you give money, you give energy, you give food, you give your shoes, you give anything. You just give, and things will begin to happen. And giving and serving, being you've got it, buddy. So I taught Caleb to serve. So we'll go to events. I remember going to an event in San Diego. We were the keynote speakers. Matt and Caleb Maddix, and we got there the night before after flying all day, and we bumped into one of the workers who were getting ready for the event the next day, and me and Caleb, after flying all day, Caleb, we get into the room and I'm ready to just relax, maybe go out downtown and maybe ride a scooter, get something to eat, relax. And Caleb's like, come on, Dan, we got to go help set everything up. And I was like, what do you mean? He said, well, our event's tomorrow and the people are still down there working and trying to get it all set up. They don't have a lot of help. Let's go. So like that serving mindset, that giving mindset, it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle of money and mission 24/7 because they feed each other. You got to have money to get the mission, but you got to have a mission. Otherwise, getting the money is like, the Dead Sea is the dirtiest water in the world. Literally the most polluted. People wouldn't even swim in the Dead Sea. Fish don't live in it because it's so polluted. It is nasty. It is disgusting. It's filthy. Well, it's because it's the only body of water that doesn't have an outlet. In other words, it receives all and gives none. So, you can't be a person that receives, and doesn't give, but you can't be a person that gives, and doesn't receive. So, you have to have a lifestyle where you're constantly pouring into your mind the right stuff, and then you're constantly making money, and you're constantly on your mission. And when you're not on your mission, you're making money, so you can be on your mission. And it's just, for us, it's a lifestyle, man. It's not, this is a way of life, I will say. The way we live is a way of life. And most don't understand it, but it's fun, I can tell you that. What's your biggest takeaway so far, man?
Yeah, I've learned a lot. I've learned about mindset. I've learned to just, I can't remember. I've learned a lot so much. I also kind of identify.
It's in you. That's all that matters is it's in you, man. I'm super proud of you, buddy.
Thank you very much. So someone asked in the comment section that, did you pay Caleb anyone in his life to read books? So can you confirm that for the person?
Wait, did I pay him to read books?
I want to confirm that.
Yes, because here's why. Because, again, everything for me was training and everything was attaching beliefs. I wasn't just, for me, being a dad was it was a balance between military training, sports training, martial arts training. It was a world of training, shaping beliefs, patterns, habits, mindset. So when I started paying Caleb $20 to read a success book, why was I doing that? Because I was wanting to train his mind and his beliefs that, those that learn the most earn the most. There is an attachment to money with self-education. There is an attachment to advancement, to prosperity, to money, to things when you're obsessed about personal growth and applying what you grow. So I had him read it, but I also had him teach it to me because that's key. A lot of people don't grow because they don't teach. So you don't grow. The fastest way to grow is to teach. Right now, the fastest way for you to grow is to take everything I just taught and you go teach it to somebody else. That's going to stick with you 70% more than if you were just reading and listening and writing. So I always had Caleb read and teach. So he would read a chapter, teach a chapter. Then it would really get inside him. And once he finished the book and he read, and he had to give me a report on what he learned, and then I gave him $20 because, that's how life works anyways. And I wanted to, get his energy attached. Personal growth and money, I wanted him to feel the synchronicity of that energy.
Whoa, I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. So I want to ask a question about myself now. Can I ask?
What are you asking?
I want to ask a question about myself. Is it okay?
You can ask anything you want, buddy.
Okay, so I want to make 7 figures next 15 months. What advice do you give me, or what action steps do you advise me to start taking in order to achieve that goal?
Okay, how much do you want to make?
7 figures. 7 figures. The next 15 months.
Proud of you, dude. You'll do it. I have no doubts. Listen, I have zero doubts whatsoever, because the thing you have to believe is money is just energy. It's an exchange of value, and it's just numbers, okay? You have to develop an inner belief that you know you're going to make this money. And there's nothing that's going to stop you. Nothing. Okay? So the first thing I would tell you is the 6-step formula in Think and Grow Rich. It's deciding on the exact amount you want to make, right? And you got to be exact. So decide on the exact amount you want to make, and then decide when do you want to make that buy. It sounds like you have it. I want a deadline. I want an exact date and time. So if it's next April, May 1st, 2021 by 5 p.m., like your affirmation needs to say, I happily and easily profit 7 figures by 5 p.m. on or before 5 p.m. on May 1st, 2021. And then there's only 2 other things that matter after that, is you developing a burning desire that nothing else matters between right now and next May 1st. Like, your 24/7 between now and next May 1st is on that 7 figures. It's becoming an obsession, a burning desire, they call it. You have to obsess with it so bad. You write it on your mirror, you write it on your phone. Like when Caleb gets a goal, he puts it all over the place. I mean, literally, it's on his phone, it's on his, he'll even put it in the bio. He'll take pictures of it and read the pictures. He'll put it on in his wall like so. You must become obsessed with that. It must become something you think about 24/7. Even when you're not thinking about it, you're going to bed and you're feeding the subconscious through hypnosis, through affirmations, through visualization as you fall asleep. Like, this is now your life. Most people don't do this with their one goal. And then number 3 would be like to establish a plan. So then now you got to get very practical. Okay, if I was going to make 7 figures, okay, I need to sell 1 people on a product or service that's worth $1 million. So you could spend between now and next May 1st making 100 calls a day trying to get someone to invest $1 million. Or then you just break it down. You only need 1 million people to give you $1. You only need 100,000 people to give you, I don't know, what is it, $5, $20, whatever. So it's breaking down the math and simplifying it and saying, okay, what's the easiest way to this goal? What's the most practical, easy way to this goal? And then it's execution like a freak. And it's going all in on those actions every day. And then what'll happen is it'll happen. I mean, there's really nothing outside of that formula other than my best advice would be to get something that you can sell that's worth, $1,000, $2,000. If you got something that was worth $5,000, if you could sit down and create an offer that's worth $5,000, you only need 200 people out there to say, you know what, yes, I'll invest $5,000 to get that, and you've made $1 million. And it sounds easier than what it is, and it sounds harder than what it is. It's not too hard, and it's not too easy, as long as you do what I told you to do. Outside of a burning desire and a clear goal and a plan to execute it in a daily relentless work ethic, well, it's not going to happen. But if you do these little things, it'll happen. And then on the practical side would be like you may be trying to get into some type of affiliates where you create some kind of, and I don't know what you're into and what you're working on, so it's hard for me to say. What are you going to do to make that money? What's your plan?
Well, my plan is, I'm actually working on a book currently. I'm working on writing my first book and publishing it before the end of this year. In fact, the next 3 months, I hope it comes out. I hope I'm selling that book, and I also hope I'm distributing that make from that, impacting people.
If you'll DM me your email, I'll give you free access to Maddix Publishing. And in there, I interviewed Caleb and Ryan this week for 90 minutes on how they're making $1 million a month. Okay? Wow. And watch that 100 times. I'm not kidding. Don't watch anybody else. For the next 90 days, don't watch anybody else. Like, immerse your brain in 1 to 5 pieces of content. Immerse in it. I mean, get it down. And then the next day, I interviewed their best friend who's doing $100,000 a month in high-ticket sales. Like, if you'll watch these, I'll publish your book for you. Okay? That'll be easy. Once you get into Maddix Publishing, we'll do it for you for free. And in there, we have all the training that you need. You know, you have what it takes. You just don't have as many resources right now. Am I right?
Yeah, yes.
Well, we'll do whatever we can to help you because you're a winner, man.
Thank you very much. I'm very honored. Thank you very much. Can I move on to the next question?
Okay.
Okay, so for my generation, right, my generation of young people, what advice do you give to us to live a much more like just out in the world?
Okay. Say that one more time, Ao.
Okay. For my generation, right, there's a lot of distractions in the world. So what advice do you give us to do in order to live a much more impactful life in this generation?
In your areas, you're saying young people don't have that much? Is that what you're saying?
In my generation, what advice do you give my generation to live a much more impactful life?
Oh, your generation.
Yes.
I would tell your generation what I tell Caleb. I tell Caleb to have 6 hours a day of silence. And he does. Your generation is, your minds are never away from the phone or social media or screen time. And that's dangerous because the mind is the most creative mechanism. It's a machine. It's like, and, you know, inputs create outputs. So I would tell your generation, anybody to have at least 6 hours a day of silence away from social media, away from the phone. And you would be surprised what this does for your creativity, the sharpness of your mind, your energy, and your impact. That would be number one because, you know, your generation has everything handed to you. You guys are literally facing the easiest time in the history of the world because of technology, because of, look what we're doing right now, right? Because of social media. So you got it so easy that it's actually going to become hard for y'all because it's so noisy. It's the internet is always, it's been noisy, but it's going to get even more noisier. And it's one of those things where your generation has got to get back to some basics like nature, meditation, social, in-person social, and silence. Silence is a gift. Silence is where you hear from God. Silence is where your mind gets replenished. Your ideas and your energy gets replenished. And that's what I would say to your generation. You're going to hear all the other stuff. Sell, marketing, run Facebook ads. Okay, all that. But the second thing I would tell your generation is stop chasing. You're seeing so much success because of social media. You're seeing so many opportunities that it's creating an uncontrollable chase that most people don't know how to get out of. It destroys them. You know, the chase is an illusion. There's nothing to chase, right? We're here to create. You create and you work every day and you enjoy life and you live in your habits, you live in your system. But you're not, because when you start chasing success, it can sneak up on you to where you start violating your values and you start neglecting your family and you start neglecting your health. And it's what I call the danger of drifting. I don't know if you guys have ever been on a boat that doesn't have an anchor, it can drift all the way across the whole lake and you don't even know it, you've drifted. So, I would tell your generation, you're growing up in a world where there's almost no right and wrong. Everything is acceptable. There's a lot of deception with media. There's a lot of illusion because of social media. So remember, a hammer, you can take a hammer and you can kill somebody with the hammer. Or you can take a hammer and you can go build an old orphanage. So it depends on what you do with what you have.